Hello, Enid, and welcome to another City Update with your host here today, Derrick, Silas, Director of Communications. With me today is Scott Morris, the Assistant City Manager, and Public Utilities Director, David Hunter.
Howdy.
So, how have you guys had your weekend? Well, how was your weekend this weekend?
It was a fantastic weekend. Did some projects and went to the Air Force Ball Saturday night.
How was that?
It was really better than I expected. I don't know what had never been, but it is open to the community, and the Stride Bank Center did a fantastic job, and the people who organized it. There was fantastic music, good food. Everybody was dressed up, looking nice, and it was a good celebration for the Air Force. And they had a Lieutenant General Sharpie gave some remarks, and along with Colonel Johnson, and it was really a great event. I'm sure there was some dancing after when it got to dancing time. Angie and I had a few other things to do, so we made a departure. But it was a great event.
Okay. How about yourself?
I didn't really get to do anything. I had a Navy Reserves weekend, so it was virtual. So I was in the house actually working with my unit out of Mississippi, and just spent my weekend doing that, reallocating resources and things. A lot of fun. Planning for the future fiscal year. So
We're good.
yeah.
So it was some more serious things other than B12.
Yeah, it was not B12.
I'm kidding. I kid.
Lots of fun though.
Very good. Now, to many of you out there in the audience, you may not know that Director David Hunter, he's the Director of Public Utilities. So, David, tell us a little bit about what you oversee, what departments and supervisors you oversee.
Well, we are over water, wastewater, solid waste, the landfill, and then also all the environmental regulations and compliance in the city. So, if you turn on your faucet in the morning, typically that's going to be because of us. If you flush your toilet and it goes somewhere, we're going to be taking care of that dirty water. Make sure that it gets treated and goes to the creek. And if your trash needs to get picked up, or any type of solid waste, like a big solid waste bin in front of your yard, or a bulk waste pickup, if you have like a mattress or something, we can take care of getting that taken away for you. And on the other side of it, if for some reason you see something dumped on the ground, like a weird spill of oil or something, fire will be associated with that. But if it becomes a compliance issue with the state, we're usually the ones that do the coordination with any state office or federal offices as well.
Very good. Mm-hmm. Thank you for all the work you're doing over there in public utilities.
Lots of fun, 24/7 operations, but it's a very fun area to be in. I think it's a lot of challenges and opportunities, and I think from a work standpoint, it's never boring. So I know that the workers have different things every week, and it may be a main break, it may be something that we're doing with trash, but there's always something going on that keeps the job interesting.
Very good, very good. All right, well, let's get into some of the events going on. Actually, this Friday is the City of Enid's 129th birthday.
Happy birthday, Enid.
That's right.
Cherokee Strip Week, we always have a celebration to commemorate the birth of Enid. So, which one of the things we'll be having Saturday at 9 a.m. is the Enid Walk of Fame. That will be at 9 a.m. at the Stride Bank Center in the second floor, which is the Nick Benson Ballroom. And we will be honoring posthumous honoree Joan Allen and Elaine Johns, who's currently our living honoree. You want to talk more about that?
It's going to be a great weekend. Let's talk a little bit about the Longhorns.
Oh, gosh.
Not the Texas Longhorns, not the Texas Longhorns. Although I got to admit that last weekend I felt a little conflicted. I found myself rooting for Texas as they played Alabama because, around here we can't have Alabama to win. So, but I was confused, and so I found myself rooting for the Longhorns, and I
think our video producer Shay would love you to.
Yeah, I'm conflicted anyway because I'm from Texas, so I'm probably not the person to be speaking at this point. Even though I'm an Aggies fan, but I am from Texas, so I usually root against some of the local teams. I'll probably have my car scratched later on today.
But this coming weekend, we have our Cherokee Strip Parade.
Yes.
And if you haven't ever been, it's a fantastic parade. There's longhorn cattle that will be in the parade, going down the streets of Enid. So, a lot of cities have their traditions
cool.
and their things, but not every city has longhorn cattle walking through their downtown. But that's how we do in Enid, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And another thing that usually happens during the Cherokee Strip that I'm so proud of is, and David, thank you for your service, but there will be Vance Airmen walking in the parade.
That's awesome.
And as the floats and the different things go by, people are happy, but when the Vance Airmen start to walk by, everybody's on their feet.
That's beautiful.
Giving those guys the honor and respect they deserve as veterans in our community. And
Yeah.
I love that part of the Cherokee Strip Parade. So
Yeah.
please plan on coming out and attending and seeing and watching the parade. It's a great tradition we have in Enid.
Yeah, and especially since yesterday was September 11th,
Yes.
there's a lot of remembrance that goes in that. So I think this parade has some special significance happening when it does.
I agree. Well, let's talk about some of the things that are going on in Enid. The Parks and Recreation Department always has very good events. They try to do one a month. So Camping in the Park is coming up this month, September 23rd and 24th. So Friday, everything starts around 5 p.m. They'll be doing various activities like s'mores.
They have a movie?
Feeder. Yes, they will have a movie. I think it's going to be, The Minions. Yes, The Minions. There it is. The Minions, The Rise of Gru. I haven't seen that movie yet, so.
I have with my kids. It's good.
Okay. So that's a very good opportunity if you want to have a family fun night. Bringing your camping gear to Meadow Lake Park, September 23rd. through the
You
24th.
can get out in the wild without getting out in the wild.
Yes, I agree. So that's one of the activities that they will be having coming up here this month. Then just a reminder, speaking of the Parks Department, that the splash pads are still open. However, the last day will be October 2nd, which is Sunday, October 2nd. So we have one on Hoover. We have Hoover and Champions Splash Pads, and they're open every day, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m., Monday through Sunday.
It would have been a little chilly this morning.
Yeah, it would have been.
It would have been a little chilly.
Yeah. So grab your kids, give them those last dips in the water, sprinkles of water. Okay, then coming up also with the Parks Department will be the Haunted Gym. Now that will be the 27th and the 28th of October from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. So that's always a fun event for the city employees dress and give this free event for the community. So
That's awesome.
it's always a good event. Also coming up, November and December will be the Parents' Night Out. Now, this Parents' Night Out means that the kids stay in for fun at the Champion Gym from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. while the parents get a chance to go wherever they would like to go during that time. So this is what we call Parents' Night Out. They'll have various games for the kids, food, activities, that kind of thing. It'll be fun event.
Now that's from 5 to 8
Yes.
p.m.
Yes.
And if your children are left in there after 8 p.m., that is the haunted gym. So be prompt and make sure that you pick your children up on time.
And we'll have the information on the website very soon because they will be, I think it's already up there actually. There's a form for parents to fill out, to phone numbers, information, just health information, just, when you're leaving kids, we got to have the information in case something happens.
That gym gets utilized for a lot of activities.
Yes, it does.
It's a great part of that portion of the community.
Yep.
So.
Yep. All right, so those are the upcoming events. Let's talk a little bit about our road closures and water outages. So tomorrow, there's a planned water outage on East Chestnut. This will be the intersection East Chestnut and 11th Street to allow contractors to install a new water line. So just know that the services will be affected tomorrow until about 4 p.m. And as you see on the screen, be affected on North 11th Street from East Birch to 2nd Pine Street, and on East Chestnut from North 10th Street to North 12th Street. So just remember, there will be a water outage while they're installing that new water line.
Yep, and it's part of our bigger, capital improvements plan to make the whole city better. And, usually when we do something like this, it mirrors road improvements. So when you see something like this, you can expect that other improvements are going to be following. So that's just making sure that we're all on the same page.
I do like the fact that every time we are fixing a street, we go in and replace the old water lines. So that's always good.
A lot of the reasons some of the streets get torn up, how they were originally constructed with the water mains running underneath them.
Yes.
Most of the time when we go to replace that street, we're relocating that water line outside of underneath the street, so that if there's a main break or some type of repair, you don't have to tear into the street, break up brand new concrete or asphalt to get down to make your repair. And so David's crews have been doing a fantastic job in engineering of as these projects happen to relocate them out of the way, so that if there should be a need for repair, we're not having to dig back into a nice new road and tear it up to make a water repair.
Yeah, I think a lot of ahead of the game planning has been occurring to just make the entire system better, and we're looking at it as a bigger picture, not just the street, not just the water line, but all together. It's really great.
Okay, very good, very good. Now let's talk about a road project starting today. Actually, there's going to be a road closure at the intersection of East Ash and North 24th Street to complete some concrete repairs there. So that should be closed for approximately 1 week starting today. Just an FYI, if you're in that area, you'll have to detour toward another way in order to get to those houses. So, all right. Make sure you're remembering when we're doing the road construction that you watch out for our construction workers. We want them to get back home safely, just as we want you to get safely as you're driving from point A to point B. So just be mindful of the construction workers.
That means progress is happening.
Yes.
And so be patient with us as we're working hard to improve our community. A lot of the other construction activities that you might see may not be related to any of the thing that David's crew or the City of Enid crews are doing.
Right.
There happens to be a lot of fiber activity going on in Enid. And so, and also ONG is continuing to replace a lot of their utilities and infrastructure. And so they're not all necessarily City of Enid, but we should be respecters of everyone's lives, no matter what company they work for, and just slow down and be careful. Take the extra step.
And all that work means that the city's evolving, growing, and developing, and that's just good for the entire city when you see that happening across the board, not just city projects, but also private commercial development that's happening.
Yes, I agree. All right, the City of Enid always seems to have some great job openings. So we want to talk about this. We have several position openings. If you can go to enid.org/careers for that full list. Now, David, as a public utility director, I see that there's a couple in your department, the utility maintenance field operator. And
our field operator is a really great position in that when you're going to be helping keep the water flowing and making sure that sewage gets to the plant in a sanitary manner. It's a great job, really great benefits, and a lot of great learning opportunities with that job. One thing that I say with utilities is if you learn this trade, you can take it anywhere and you can do it for the rest of your life. You have job security. We will get you certified. And then we also have a crew worker at solid waste to make sure that trash is being picked up. These are definitely very important jobs for the city. They go unnoticed, but we just want to really get a really good candidate in there and just help the city grow, because these jobs just make sure that those vital services don't stop.
I just like the fact every time I look at the job openings, the wages are so much better than they were before, and I'm just so thankful about that.
Yes, sir. We have made some improvements. It makes me happy every time I see the job board, too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right, David. So we're going to talk to you about this public meeting coming up. tell us a little bit about what we can expect on Wednesday.
Well, we just want to get the we want to get some input from the community about changes that we're looking at making in the Green Card program. It's been going on for many years, well over a decade, and it's grown, so it's been a success. But along with the success, it allows us to, it requires us to make a closer look at it. And there's some financial challenges and some logistical challenges with the program. And at a minimum, we need to make some changes, and we really need the community's input on how we change the program going forward. We're really proud of the program that we're able to give the citizens, and we want to keep it going. But as it grows, it needs to evolve, and that's really one of the things that we want to look at. I've heard some people say that that we're talking about taking it away, and that's not the case. We want to keep providing the service. We have to look at it closely and find ways to make it grow as the city grows. And I think that's the main thing that we're talking about.
Okay, very good, very good.
And that'll be Wednesday, this Wednesday, starting at 6 p.m. At Council Chambers. Yes. So please, if you are interested and you're a resident, come by and just give us your input. We want to hear from you. We definitely want to hear from you.
Yes. So remember, any member of the public is invited to that at 6 p.m. this Wednesday to talk about the Green Polycart program that we have. And as a reminder, we're also going to remind you about our Garfield County Emergency Management app. If you don't have that app, be sure to download that app. It really can alert you to. I've had that app on my phone when I'm traveling through Little Rock, and it'll tell you, hey, there's flooding coming up. So it's not just used for here. Because it's a app that's really with emergency management, it alerts you wherever you are. So, and sure enough, 20 miles up the road, there was flooding in the road on the highway. So it really works. So be sure to download that to stay updated with what's going on in Enid and wherever you are. Also, I just want to remind everybody about our Click Fix app. This is a great app. I know in public utilities and public works, they have told us that it's really worked well. For instance, potholes, they're able to get those potholes fixed within a 24-hour to 40-hour period because they're getting the information really quick, and it really comes in handy.
You know, last Thursday at our council meeting, after the meeting, I had a citizen come up to me and talk about a pothole that was a problem in their neighborhood. And so I pulled out my phone and opened up the Click Fix app, and I asked them for the address one more time, and I put it in there and hit the button. It's really that easy.
Mm-hmm. And the other good thing about it is you can do it like if you're driving around at 3 in the morning and something's wrong, you can hit the app as well. So it doesn't have to be a 8 to 5 sort of reporting. So, and you can do it from anywhere. It's very easy. It can be anonymous if you want it to be, or you can put in your phone number if you want to call back. So it does allow the residents or customers to fully engage the city and let us know. Because one thing that I always say is we don't know a lot of things that are problems, and the residents are a second set of eyes for us. And this Click Fix is just an extension of that.
I was always, taught that feedback is a gift.
Mm-hmm.
And so, hearing back from the community, that's why, this meeting coming up on Wednesday is important to you.
Yes.
Because feedback is a gift. And so, hey, for all of you that are watching, if you think that Derrick looks great today, give him a little feedback about that.
Yeah, let it be positive. Yes. Well, I want to thank you, David, for coming. You've given us a wealth of information that's very needful.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we'll be there to support you Wednesday. And if you're, like he said, if you're interested in giving feedback on this Green Polycart program, please be at the City Hall meeting at 6 p.m. this coming Wednesday. So thank you for joining us today.
Glad to be here.
And remember that you can find us on all realms of social media. We're on the Roku TV. We're on Amazon Fire. You can download our channel on your TV. And then we're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and of course, YouTube. So thanks for coming, and we'll see you next week, same time. As they say, what does Batman say?
Same bat time, same bat channel.
That's right.
So until then, have a great day.
Bye-bye.